Hello, everyone. So, throughout the course of the semester, I got to read a book called Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret by Judy Blume. So, this story is written by an 11-year-old girl named Margaret. And through this story, she shares her different experiences. For example, she talks about how she's inflicted with her figuring out a religion that is suited for her because her parents are from different religions. And even though this has never really bothered her, once she moved to this new town, she has all these different questions. And so she's trying to discover who she is and what she can identify with. Some of the issues she also goes through is um, questions she has about having her first period, liking boys, feeling self conscious about physical changes in her body, and also the social interaction with her classmates. Through this whole entire process, or through this whole story, she talks to God. So she looks towards God for guidance and reassurance that she wants to fit in with her peers and school and deal with the new changes that she's dealing with. So part of this book, it relates a lot to what we've been studying throughout the semester from the middle childhood development book that was written by Mary Ho Zember. So, one specific example I can think of is when we read about puberty and physical changes in children, specifically when they get to their middle childhood. So, Margaret, during this story, she's infatuated with knowing about puberty and about the changes that come with it. One specific person that comes to mind as well is how they talk about Laura, or she's one of the characters in the story, and she actually developed earlier. So a lot of the girls will look to her, or they're kind of jealous because she's already developed. So in the book, Zember talks about kids that develop earlier and some of the things that can occur. For example, children that mature earlier are more prone to suffer from psychological distress, have low self-esteem regarding their weight and how they look, and how tall they are compared to other girls that mature later. So this is seen throughout the book how Lara feels um, kind of distant from other girls because they don't want to get close to her, and how she's taller from the other boys because she's more developed. Another thing that they talk about is that I saw throughout the book is the social learning theory. And so, what the social learning theory states is that we learn social skills and behaviors by observing the behaviors of others. This is very apparent um, through the story because Margaret kind of mimics or even follows everything that Nancy does, and Nancy is one of her friends, and you can see that she kind of changes the clothes she wears, who she talks to, based on Nancy. So she sees Nancy as her guide, kind of. She observes her behaviors and then she mimics them. Another very important issue in the story is how Margaret deals with her internal battle with deciding what religion is best fit for her. So in the book written by Zember, there's a there's something that they wrote where it says, according to Osser and Munger, who proposed a series of stages of religious reasoning, middle childhood children go through a phase known as do, eat, des, give so you may receive. So basically, there's a lot of examples throughout the story. So this is the thinking that in order for you to receive something, you have to give something in return. So when Margaret's dad cuts his finger in the story, there's a section that this occurs. Margaret prays to God that if he heals her dad, then she will do better in school and she will listen more to her mother. So they're promises that she makes in exchange for the safety of her dad. Another example that is seen is how she wants to grow, mature her breast because um, she wants to go through this process. So she talks to God constantly about this issue, and she promises him to do better in school, to help out with the chores at home if God grants her this wish. Another thing that we talk about is how girls would probably really relate to this book because it talks about things that they can experience. So I would definitely recommend this book to other girls to read because it brings up a lot of issues that they might be going through during this stage.